Okay, today we are going to go over a little bit of conversions. Now, these are specifically metric conversions, which is nice because metric conversions are all based on 10, which means that all we're going to be doing is basically moving the decimal around. And I'll show you exactly what that means in a little bit. But I do kind of want to go over the basics of conversions. So, if you are going from a bigger unit, let's just say, I think we're all familiar with feet and inches. So there's 12 inches, okay, equals 1 foot. So that means that 1 foot has 12 inches in it. That means 1 foot is bigger than inches, so inches are smaller. Now, if I'm going to say 3 feet equals how many inches, okay, so we can think about it like this. 3 feet equals how many inches? Well, there's 12 inches in each foot, so I have to do 3 times 12, which equals, so 36 inches, okay? So, that means that if I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, like feet to inches, I have to multiply. And if I'm saying 36 inches equals how many feet, it's going to be 3, because then I'm dividing. So basically, the most important thing of that you have to remember for conversions is that if you're going from bigger, okay, so bigger to smaller unit, that is, so a bigger to smaller unit, you divide, okay, and I apologize for my handwriting. And if you're going from smaller to bigger, oh, see, I actually just messed this up. So if it's bigger to smaller, okay, you have to multiply. And basically, you want to remember that it's opposite of what you would assume. So even I messed up here because typically if you go bigger to smaller, you do divide. But it's actually multiply. And smaller to bigger, you actually divide. So typically, if I'm thinking of making a number bigger, I think multiplying, and making it smaller, I divide. But converting is the opposite. Okay? So let's just go here and do a couple of these. Now, I know that 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. Okay? So, since 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter, I'm going from a smaller to a bigger unit. I'm going to divide 56 by 10. And how I do that is move the decimal place over. So, the decimal place of a whole number is always after the ones column. But I'm just going to move it over because I'm dividing by 10, and then this becomes 5 6/10, or 5.6 centimeters. Now this is going to be the same thing. This would be 7 9/10, right? Because I'm just moving the decimal place over. Millimeters, okay? And I'm moving the decimal place over. So it becomes 8 9/10, or 8.9. Now I know that there are centimeters. How many in a meter? There's 100. So what am I doing? Instead of moving the decimal place once for 10, I'm moving it twice. So it becomes 28 hundredths, or 0.28. Okay, and same thing here. Becomes, I'm moving the decimal place 1, 2. Here, centimeters to meters, moving the decimal place 1, 2. Okay, and it becomes 34 hundredths. Now, for meters to kilometers, it is 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So that means that I'm going to move the decimal 3 places, because there's 3 zeros in 1,000, right? So I'm moving it 2 because there's 2 zeros in 100. I'm moving it here once because there's 1 0. So 3 zeros, that means I'm going to move the decimal place 1, 2, 3. Now there's no number here, so it actually just becomes 0.088, or 88 thousandths. And I'm doing the same thing here. 1, 2, 3. And it becomes 19 thousandths. And this becomes 66. Oh, I forgot the 0 here. This becomes 66 thousandths. So now we're going centimeters to millimeters. So we are going to be multiplying by 10. And in this case, we're just moving the decimal place the other way. So now it's 39, 32, and 58. And if we were doing meters to centimeters, right? So the reverse of this, we would just add zeros here. So if it was, let's see here. Let's just go down here. And if we're doing meters to centimeters, 26 meters actually would be how many centimeters? We are going to go here, and then we are going to move the decimal place twice, and that is just adding zeros. We're just adding 2 zeros. Kilometers to meters is the same thing, but we're going to be moving the decimal place 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then that just ends up being adding zeros. So it's just timesing by 1,000. Meters to centimeters is timesing by 100. So hopefully that gives you a basic idea of conversion.